Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that we are officially halfway through the year. Like, this year has just been going so quickly. I say this every single month, but I cannot believe that it is time to set my July TBR already. Time is just flying by and I feel like we don't even notice it. I'm doing something a little bit different this month that I've never done before. I'm actually letting you guys choose my TBR, but blindly. I've seen quite a few people do this over here, but I've never tried it out before, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different. A few days ago, I put some polls up on my Instagram stories. So if you're not following me on there, make sure you go and do so you don't miss when I do this again in the future. Pretty much I put some polls up and I covered the book covers, and then I put some emojis that I thought correlated with each book on top, so you had like somewhat of an idea of the vibe, but not really. Like, you'd have to like guess what the books are underneath. As I just said, I did do this a few days ago, so I do have all of the results ready, but I haven't actually looked at the results myself yet, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first poll that I did and the first two book options that were in that poll were Killer Instinct and Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. These are both from Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It's just two different series. So this one is part of the Natural series. It's the second book. And this one is part of a newer series. So this is the first book in a new series. Honestly, for the emojis for this one, I kind of didn't really know what I was even thinking, because for this one I got it really well. I did like a little FBI and then like a little blood drop, because it's following a group of teenagers who help the FBI to solve these unsolved crimes. So I feel like I got that one really well. But then this one, on the other hand, for some reason I had it set in my mind that it was set in a ballet school. So I actually did ballet slippers and a sword, and now that I think about it, it doesn't match at all, because it's actually a debutante. It's not a ballet school. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I heard that somewhere or if I got it confused with another book. I feel like I kind of threw you guys off with this one because I just didn't choose the right thing. But the results for this one were actually quite clear. We had 36% voted for Killer Instinct and 64% voted for Little White Lies. So this is the winner. I feel like the ballet slipper made people really intrigued, even though I got it completely wrong. But I'm very excited to read this because I've heard some really fantastic things about it, and I feel like I need like a YA mystery thriller, because I've been in like such a bad reading slump this whole year. Okay, the next one, I think I actually did choose some good emojis for it. So we have Ruthless Vows. So this is the second book that comes after Divine Rivals, and I did a little letter and then like some little magical sparkles, because I feel like this is just such a magical series. And then the other book I did was A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I believe that this is like an academic rivals set in a fantasy world, but I could be wrong. But because of that reason and because of that thought, I did like a little emoji of a school and then some autumn leaves, because I don't know, something about this book just gives me like autumn fall sort of vibes. Like, I feel like you need to read this in the cozier seasons, which is what we're in Australia. This is another one where the results were actually really clear. So Ruthless Vows ended up with 61% and A Study in Drowning ended up with 39%. I honestly did not mind which way this would go because I really wanted to read both of these, but Ruthless Vows is going on the TBR and maybe I'll read this one soon anyway. Okay, the next one I'm really excited about because they are actually two literary fictions that I've been really excited to read. So again, I think I chose some really good emojis for these ones. I have As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zufla Cato. I probably said that so wrong, but for this one I literally did a lemon and a tree, so this is perfect. And if you guys know this book, you probably would have guessed what this one was. And the other book was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I've been seeing so many things about this book recently and about how emotional it is. Actually, to be fair, I think both of these books are quite emotional, so I'm really excited to get a book that's going to make me cry. But for this one I did just a little emoji of a bird and then some swords. I don't really know why. I think it's because this book is like set in the war times, so it just kind of made sense to me as I was making the post. The results for these two books were actually really close. We had As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow with 54% and The Nightingale with 46%. So As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow is going on the TBR for July. I am literally so excited for this, and we're actually going to Sydney for like a week in July, so I'm going to take some of these books with me, and then I'm going to film like a little reading vlog when we're there as well. I am seriously so excited for this. I literally saw one review about it and then I just bought it straight away. The next two books are also from the same author. That is Cinder by Marissa Meyer and Renegades by Marissa Meyer. So these are both first books as part of series, and for this one I really want Cinder to win, because recently my mum actually read this whole series and absolutely loved it, and of course I trust her opinion, so I feel like I'm gonna love it as well. Like, she literally read the whole series so quickly, and so I'm praying that Cinder wins, because like that's what I'm in the mood for. So the emojis I chose for this one is, I did a robot for this one because I believe it's following a cyborg, which is like a robot, and a little like fairy emoji, emoji because I think each robot is like, for example, I think the first robot we're following is Cinderella, if that makes any sense. So it's like a fairy tale but with robots. So I think the emojis match, but they seem really random. Then for this one, this is following superheroes, I believe. So I did a superhero emoji and like a strong emoji. I really did not know what emojis to choose for this one, so it seems a little bit random again. I feel like I kind of did this one dirty on purpose so the other one would win. Okay, this one again was such a clear winner. We have Renegades with 33% and Cinder with 67%. So I am so excited about this. I think this will be like a book that I can take on the airplane when we fly over, and I feel like it'll be such a like easy book to get into, and I'm like nervous because I've only been on an airplane once, so I feel like this is a good option for that as well. I forgot to mention before I started, I put up 6 polls, so we have 2 different polls left to go. I'm honestly really happy with how this TBR is turning out so far. I feel like because the last few months I've done like TBR jars choose or TBR cards choose, I haven't really got to choose my own TBR, but for this one I obviously could choose the books that I put in, so I put in all the books that I really want to read. I'm really happy with it so far. These are probably all the books that I would have chosen. The next one I'm really nervous about because I do want to read both of these books, but I do want to read one a lot more than the other. The first one is Hopeless by Elsie Silver, which is the 5th and final book in the Chestnut Springs series. I have absolutely loved this series and I'm so excited about this, even though I don't really know what character it's following. I honestly can't remember, but I have heard some really mixed reviews on this book in particular. So for this one I did a cowboy emoji and a ring because there's a ring on the front cover and it is a cowboy romance. And then the other book I did was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've actually never read an Abby Jimenez book before, and this would be the one that I start with, so I've been really wanting to read this very soon. I honestly didn't really know what this was about, so I looked up like those TikToks where people show the aesthetic of books, and I saw a lot of like cooking and baking, so I decided that I would add a chef and just a little sparkle emoji. It's really random. I feel like it doesn't match it perfectly, but because I don't really know much about this book, I couldn't really decide what emojis to use. So even though I really wanted this one to win, I feel like I kind of did it dirty, not even on purpose. Yep, okay, so for this one, Hopeless by Elsie Silver won by far. It won with 66% and Part of Your World got 34%. So this was a very clear winner, and I am very excited to finish this series, but I do also really want to read an Abby Jimenez book, so I might just read that in the month as well. Okay, we have one more poll to go, and this is another like romance themed one. I feel like I tried to choose a lot of different genres in this, so I have a wide variety because, as I said, I've been in a massive slump, so I need different book options. For this one I have Mile High by Liz Tomford and Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is another one where I feel like I did the emojis quite well. Actually, I did a roller coaster for this one because it is the Dreamland Billionaire series, which is like following a theme park, and then just a little love heart because I didn't know what else to do. And then for Mile High I did an aeroplane and a hockey stick because it is a hockey romance, and obviously the whole theme of the front cover and title of this book is about airplanes. So I feel like I did that absolutely spot on. Honestly, I don't really care which way this would go because I do really want to start this series, but at the same time I do want to continue this series because it's been a long time since I read the fine print and I feel like it's very long overdue. Oh, okay, this one was actually quite close. So Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher got 47%, and that means Mile High won with 53%. So that was a very close one, but I'm actually quite happy with this result. Like, maybe I'll read this on the airplane. Like, that would make a lot of sense as well. I'm acting like it's like a 6-hour trip. Like, it's literally like an hour and a half from Melbourne. It's really not a long trip at all. Like, I will probably barely even read a book on the airplane, to be honest, but you will see that in a reading vlog. But anyway, that was the last poll. So now I'm going to go through the 6 books that you guys have chosen for me for my July TBR. I'm honestly so excited about all of these books. I feel like I'm setting myself up for success because my last few TBRs have not really gone that well. I feel like this one is going to be quite easy to get through a lot of these. We have Mile High by Liz Tomford, Hopeless by Elsie Silver, Cinder by Marissa Meyer, As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow, I'm not even going to say the author's name, Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, and Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So that is the 6 books that I'm hoping to read in July. Thank you guys so much if you took part in this and took part in helping me decide these books. With all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I apologize for being so inactive lately. I've been so busy lately, but in the month of July I have quite a few cool videos planned, so definitely be excited for that, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss when I upload them.